Less than half an hour until polls close in India-administered Jammu and Kashmir. It's the third and final phase of elections, covering 40 constituencies across 7 districts. Almost 4 million residents can cast their votes to choose 40 lawmakers out of 415 candidates. Results will be announced a week from now. The polls are the first since the Modi government revoked Jammu and Kashmir's special status in August 2019. And for more, Neha Poonia joins us live from New Delhi. Neha, polls about to close. Do we have any indication of the overall voter turnout?
Well, the big headline from all of the 3 phases that have taken place over the course of the last 1 month has been that voter turnout has far exceeded expectations. We're seeing that trend continue in phase 3 on Tuesday as well. We only have official data available till about 3 p.m. local time. And at that point, voter turnout was about 56%. That's just short of the total turnout we saw in phase 2 and a little under what we saw in phase 1. But between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. local time, when polls close, most experts say we'll quite likely see that number increase significantly. And this very well could be the phase that sees the highest turnout in this 3-phased election. Now, a majority of the seats that were in the fray on Tuesday were in the southern Hindu majority region of Jammu, and we've seen a few constituencies clock the most turnout so far. But what's also interesting for this phase is that several communities that were disenfranchised previously were allowed to vote for the first time in this election. This includes tens of thousands of Hindu refugees from Pakistan who've been in Kashmir since 1947, since after independence. But previously, they were only allowed to vote in national elections, but this time around, given that this is the first election since Kashmir's semi-autonomous nature was changed, they've been allowed to vote in regional elections because rules that previously limited voting rights to, residents and descendants who've lived in that region since the 1930s were changed. And we've seen many of them come out in large numbers to cast their votes on Tuesday.
Neha, as you mentioned, this is the first election since Jammu and Kashmir lost their semi-autonomous status in 2019 under the Modi administration. Mr. Modi himself has been out campaigning in Jammu and Kashmir. What is significant for his party in this particular round of voting?
Well, the first 2 phases, we saw polling take place in the Muslim majority regions of Kashmir. And that's where experts say it's quite unlikely that Mr. Modi's BJP will be able to win any seats, if at all, given the sort of anger that still exists over that decision to revoke Kashmir's autonomy. Many voters on the ground have been saying they're using this election as a referendum on that decision, which they call unilateral and one that was not something that Kashmiris wanted. But it's a different story in the southern Hindu majority region of Jammu. This is a region that Mr. Modi's BJP has done well in the last election that was held nearly a decade ago. The BJP won 60% of the seats here. Mr. Modi's party also doing really well in this region in the 2019 general elections as well. And what's happened in this election is that some constituency lines have been redrawn, which sort of levels the playing field between Hindu majority Jammu and the Muslim majority Kashmir Valley, which is why Mr. Modi has been focusing very much so on the Jammu region, holding many rallies there, telling voters he's confident the BJP will win and form a majority government. But, several separatist candidates also in the fray who've been telling Kashmiri people to come out and vote in large numbers, saying this is their last chance to make their voices heard.
Oh, thanks. Neha Poonia reporting live to us there from New Delhi.